Thousands and tens of thousands of fish species live in the seas and oceans, rivers, and lakes of the earth. Many of them amaze the human imagination with their unusual, fantastic appearance. Fishing is one of the most interesting hobbies that helps a person to merge with nature. For many people, it combines active recreation and a pleasant pastime with friends. Every fisherman dreams of catching the largest fish in the world, but not to eat it. Rather, to be proud of his skill. But not everyone manages to get the coveted trophy. In this story you will see the largest giant fish ever caught by humans in the world. The biggest bluefin tuna. Ken Foster managed to catch this giant fish in 1979 near the Nova Scotia peninsula of Iowa. The fisherman went fishing and did not think at all that he would catch the biggest fish. The hooked tuna resisted the hero for 40 minutes. The fish categorically refused to go to the boat and tried to swim away. The weight of the tuna was 678 kilograms. After the picture was taken, he released the fish into the wild. In 1979, no fisherman caught tuna heavier than 450 kilograms. Today it belongs to endangered species, because its fishing is strictly regulated. A huge dream was caught by professional fishermen by twin brothers Dino and Dario Ferrari in the north of Terra, in the largest river on the Apennine Peninsula. This species itself can inhabit both fresh rivers and the seashore. Such fish usually spend their entire lives on one site within a few kilometers and are omnivorous. All kinds of fish, worms, frogs, crustaceans and even waterfowl serve as food for them. That's why they grow to such incredible sizes. Sleep is a wonderful nurse of reservoirs. He eats sick and weakened fish. In order to catch herself, the fisherman needed a lot of patience and physical strength. The dream got caught on the spinning hook. It took them 40 minutes to get him to dry land. First they exhausted him, and then they took him out of the water. The length of the river giant was 2 meters 70 centimeters, weighing 127 kilograms, age, about 30 years. The trophy was dubbed the P-Monster, assuming that such a giant could swallow a person. After weighing the fish and taking a picture with it, the fisherman released it back into the river. A giant freshwater stingray was recently caught in Thailand weighing about 362 kilograms. The lucky one was an American. Vivacity such a giant took about 2 hours of time. All the forces of the crew were thrown to help the fisherman. To measure the dimensions of the fish, it took the participation of 7 men. According to the fisherman, this particular stingray can claim the name of the largest freshwater fish caught on a fishing rod. The giant freshwater stingray is not aggressive, although it should be handled with caution, since their venomous long spike is able to easily pierce a human bone. Giant perch. The Japanese Manabu Kurita were lucky enough to catch a trout perch that is unique in all respects. It turned out to be the largest of those that came across before. I tightened this copy by 10 kilograms. In addition, it turned out that he is also a long liver. Who would have thought that his age is 77 years old? And this significant event happened in the 2009 year. A fisherman, a native of the English village of Westley, caught a record barbel in the waters of Thailand. His catch broke the world record. The weight of the giant fish was 105 kilograms. The fish resisted very much. It took a lot of effort to catch it. Only after 80 minutes the fisherman finally pulled it out and could not believe his eyes that he had caught such a huge mustache. To photograph the fish, he enlisted the help of 2 local fishermen. The giant barbel is the largest species of the carp family, which is on the verge of extinction. This fish feeds on algae, phytoplankton, and plant fruits. The giant hammerhead shark was caught by the captain of the charter ship Bucky Dennis in May of the year 2006. An avid fisherman caught a fish 5.5 meters long and weighing 580 kilograms. When resisting, a huge fish dragged his 7-meter boat almost 20 kilometers deep into the Gulf of Mexico. The shark caught turned out to be a pregnant female. There were 55 embryos inside it. The biggest pike on one of the days of October of the year 1986 was blessed with the appearance of the fisherman Laura Lewis. The beauty was simply stunning for a pike in size, 152 centimeters in length and 25 kilograms in weight. For 40 minutes the pike was not given to the fisherman, trying to escape into his element. And yet he managed to pull the fish ashore. The action unfolded on Lake Vulture, located in the western part of Germany. The largest Mississippian shellfish is a real thunderstorm reservoir in Central and North America. It is very fast and strong, but a timid fish. The deadly jaws of this predator can bite even an alligator. Due to the external similarities, the freshwater villain is also called an alligator fish. In the 2011 year, the largest captured shellfish was officially registered. Its length was 2.5 meters, weight 148 kilograms, and is also included in the list of prehistoric fish. The largest paltos was caught near the island of Seia in northern Norway. The weight of the fish was 241 kilograms. In order to pull a huge halibut out of the water, the Norwegian spent 3 whole hours, but still achieved his goal and pulled a giant-sized fish onto dry land. A couple of experienced fishermen called for the help of the record holder, who helped to cope with a rather complicated process. The length of the record halibut is 2.5 meters, and its cost, according to experts, is about $40,000. There is no more desirable prey in sea fishing than catching the biggest blue marlin. During another fishing trip in the waters of the coast of Victoria in Brazil, fisherman Paulo Aaron was lucky enough to catch a huge Atlantic blue marlin, whose mass was 635 kilograms. The caught marlin makes fierce resistance, makes dizzying jumps, and in order to bring him to the side, the fisherman had a difficult struggle. After a hard 80-minute duel, the fisherman still managed to defeat the giant. Six-gill sharks live in tropical and temperate waters of oceans and seas. Despite their relatively wide distribution, such fish are a rare trophy for fishermen, since they usually live at a sufficiently deep depth and feed mainly on fish and sometimes hunt seals. But one day an amateur fisherman caught a giant 6-gill shark 7.5 meters long and weighing 680 kilograms on the coast of Ireland. This is the largest shark of this species ever caught on a fishing rod in Europe. The Englishman struggled alone with a huge fish for an hour and a half. After an exhausting fight, he managed to lift the prey to the surface and photograph it. Then he took the shark off the hook and set it free. Wassa or Atlantic giant grouper weight, if adults, is about 180 kilograms. But sometimes there are real giants among them. On the 20th of May, 1961, fisherman Joyner was able to catch a monster weighing 308 kilograms, using a Spanish spotted mackerel as bait. Since 1990, the catch of the Atlantic giant is strictly prohibited. Blunt-nosed sharks, or bull sharks, are the stockiest among their fellows. They can also reach quite large sizes, and the average weight usually does not exceed 130 kilograms. In the 2001 year, the fisherman Ronald Yeager managed to catch a bull shark weighing 316 kilograms in the waters of the coastal Kenyan city of Malindi. He used live yellowfin tuna as bait. The twilight shark is one of the largest representatives of the gray shark genus. With a body length of up to 3 meters, their mass, as a rule, reaches 180 kilograms. The maximum recorded length of the twilight shark was 4 meters, weighing 347 kilograms. Such a giant was caught by Warren Girl off the coast of the city of Longbottom in 1982. The maka shark usually reaches a fairly large size. With a body length of about 3 meters, their weight can vary from 60 to 135 kilograms. In the 2001 year, Lux Vinny, one of the participants of the competition in Chatham, Massachusetts, caught a huge female shark poppy. The length of her torso was 3 and 8 meters, and her weight was 554 kilograms. His catamaran boat was the smallest among the vessels of the other participants, not exceeding 7.5 meters. It took Sweeney more than 3 hours to exhaust the fish and finally get it on deck. An ordinary fox shark was caught in the Bay Islands in New Zealand on February 23, 1983. Using the bait of a 24-kilogram Australian salmon, David Heenet caught a giant weighing 348 kilograms. Fox sharks are extremely aggressive. Once on the hook, they hit the tackle with their long, sharp tail and even try to attack the offender. Powerful swordfish are active and dangerous predators. The annual catch is tens of thousands of tons. Despite the huge catch, no one has yet managed to break the record of the fisherman lure. On the 7th of July, 1953, he caught a swordfish weighing 536 kilograms off the banks of the Iquique River in Chile. Nowadays, trawls and nets are used to catch swordsmen, and he managed to get such a monster with a conventional hook, using live mackerel as bait. The whale shark is the world's largest fish that feeds on plankton and is common in the southern parts of the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. The whale shark that has ever fallen into the hands of people was caught in the territorial waters of Pakistan, near Baba Island in 1949. Its length was 13 meters, and the fun of this fish is 20 tons. In girth at the widest point, the circumference of the trunk was 7 meters. White sturgeon. This is a freshwater fish species, the largest representatives of sturgeon. The white sturgeon recently caught in British Columbia was 4 meters long and weighed half a ton. The white sturgeon has an extremely long lifespan. Some of them live for more than 100 years. Due to the long lifespan, the fish grows slowly. Beluga is the biggest fish. It lives in both sea and fresh water. Because of its huge size, it is called the kingfish. She has been growing continuously all her life. In 1827th year, a beluga weighing 1.5 tons was documented. Who knows how many more outlandish giant fish are introduced into the reservoirs of our mysterious planet in anticipation of a lucky fisherman to become the goldfish of his dreams.
And that's it for me. If you liked this video, don't forget to rate it, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell. For me, your activity, this is the best reward. Thank you for your attention. See you soon.